Okay, Craig is recording. I'm gonna go
Is it
call.
recording for sure now?
Yeah. We solved that problem. Me and Dino
All right
solved
then.
it. All right,
Good.
yeah. So I'm gonna notify Dino. So I'm gonna call him right quick. So
Okay then. And once you do this, I will talk about the episode.
all right, just call him. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's active. Okay.
So now may I talk about the episode if you have called DNO then?
I called Dino, so we're gonna wait for him to join. I think he's gonna say like, yeah, he's coming.
Yes, that would be nice. Of
Yeah,
course, like usually the podcast time is different, so it would be tough for him to.
yeah, because he's in like China apparently right now for vacation, so that's why we changed it. So
Makes sense.
I'm gonna tag KG so he can come in.
KG Prestige?
Yep.
Okay.
How many other KGs do you know? What
I have no idea. Who do you
even
even call?
e- even on
Like,
Discord, even on Discord, you cause me pain. Everywhere I go, Twitter, pain. Discord, pain. My
look.
life,
Let me.
pain.
Okay, let me defend myself. Basically, on Twitter, where I of course interact a lot, there are like 5 different Sams in the Anipo community in total. So like, I'm used to people having the same name. I'm used to multiple people having the same name. So that's why I was just asking.
Okay, so he joined. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for Zero to join because Zero said he was watching the episode, and we're gonna wait for Dino to join.
Okay. So hold on a second, real quick. Just out of curiosity, what are we exactly going to be discussing for today?
We're gonna
The
discuss
Dawn episode.
and some topics
Okay.
that happen throughout the week. So we usually discuss the episode, some topics throughout the week, and then that's usually what we talk about.
All right.
Unless there's
Sweet.
like Pokemon news, but there hasn't been any news as of late. So yeah, this should be a pretty sweet podcast. Easy one and done.
All right. Since
All
we're
right,
waiting
so
for somebody, I'm gonna go get me some water then to keep myself hydrated. So I'm gonna go get
yeah,
some water right now. I'll be right back.
no problem, no problem. We're waiting for Dino.
So Zero is seeing the episode, huh?
Huh? Oh, Zero? Yeah. Apparently he's seen the episode, so what I'm expecting him to do is come in like late.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I said we're waiting for Dino because he usually takes a couple minutes. And Dino is here. It only took him 5 hours. And here comes Dino saying, well, if I wasn't here, we would only have like 5 episodes out.
Exactly.
Shut up. Okay. KG said he was going to go get some water. So,
And I'm back.
and he's back. Okay. So, welcome to the Masters Day podcast, everybody. It's me, your host, Samurai, as always. We have a new face here today for a guest, and Sam's back because Sam's never here. So,
Sorry
Sam,
about
you want to
that.
give your introduction? So, Dino, do you want to give your
Yes,
introduction?
so I'm guessing most of you would know because I was in most of the earlier podcasts. I'm Sam, from Sam, and I'm quite famous on
Version
Twitter, I
of
guess.
him.
But yeah, I haven't been in the recent podcast due to some reason because of course I was, but we try to join the coming podcasts from now on.
Yeah, no problem. And Dino, as always, he's always my co-host.
Exactly. Oh, now
And we
I'm a
have
co-host. I got promoted.
And we have KG. We have KG Prestige from the Pokepod.
Hey there, everybody.
And so today we're here talking about episode 74. It's episode 74. I remember this time. It was episode 74. We're here talking about episode 74, the Dawn episode, the episode that's been trending everywhere and everybody's been raving about. So, who wants to go first? Usually Dino would go first to start us off.
Well, then I'll go first.
Not to
Well,
mention you're the Gen 4 stan, so it would feel like criminal not letting you go first.
exactly. However, it might be controversial, but I have like mixed feeling about this episode. In my opinion, it was like good for journey standard, but like
It's one
mediocre
of those
for turn episode.
It's one of those episodes. Okay.
Yeah, like there are some moments I enjoyed a lot, like a little cameo from Dawn's mom. I forgot the name. And
Johanna.
Oh yeah, exactly. And like the Team Sakuragi part, I love that part so much. And yeah, like the Darkrai and Christina plot is simple, but still, I think it's a good way to bring Dawn back in the arc. I enjoyed a lot of it. Just like some parts, just like feels dragged. Like Chloe's, why I like the idea that Chloe's traveling alone. Sometimes it just feels dull, like his journey, like her journey. Like she is just like wandering through stuff and just encountering some trouble. It was like too standard. And then we have, of course, the return of Dawn. Like I love Dawn. I think you all know that I'm a huge DB fan.
Wow, the Gen 4 stan likes Dawn. Who didn't see this coming?
Yeah, and well, I wasn't even that hyped for the episode, so I kept my expectation like not low, but like in a limit. But still, like kind of her return doesn't feel like a return. It just feels like
A random
Chloe met a random girl in on the street and then travels with her. Like they could have like anyone there, and it didn't have to be Dawn.
I see what you mean. They could have replaced it with like a random girl. I see what you mean. It doesn't feel like.
And in my opinion, maybe it would even been better if it was like Iris instead of Dawn, because like how Dawn was behaving in the episode, like it wasn't out of character. Like that's something Dawn sometimes would do, but like the personality was more fitting to other characters like Iris and more like energetic female protagonist.
I would say Serena, because the way Dawn got introduced, like she had no experience camping. I would say that fits Serena more than Dawn.
Yeah, well, that part didn't even. What?
I'm saying that I think Gino is referring to the part where like Dawn was acting all carefree and was like not caring or traveling around. So I think Serena is more like she is more active when it comes to these cases. She is more like.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see where both come from.
Yeah, but yeah, while this episode was mediocre, I definitely think that the next episode will be very good. Since most of the footage I saw in the trailer that interested me wasn't in the episode anyways, like the reunion of Dawn and Ash, and also the battle with Meteor Matrix, like that in the trailer looked really good. So I'm expecting good stuff for next episode.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting is that how come I didn't see Tobias? I'm assuming Darkrai is Tobias's, right?
Shut up.
Actually, like there are 4. Actually, if I'm not wrong, there were like 4 different Darkrai's in the Diamond and Pearl series, or 3. I'm not sure. So, like it's a high possibility it might be a wild one, or it might be Tobias's one. No.
Yeah, why can't it be Tobias's Darkrai? Dino's just negative. Okay, Dino's just negative.
Can it be like the one Darkrai?
Okay, so Dino, what do you rate this episode? Because you forgot to give a rating.
Oh, that's hard because I didn't put like in my rating system, but I would say like a 7 or 8. Like I would say 7 for now. Maybe I would change.
Okay, I guess I can go next if Sam doesn't want to go.
I can go next, but like if you want to go, then you go.
Okay, I'll go. I enjoyed this episode. Like, I've seen a couple of reviews after I watched it. It seems that I share a lot of the same thoughts with everybody else, where this episode was fine. I would say that, yeah, I agree with Dino where he said that Doey, Zoe, Zoe. I keep on forgetting her name. Looking Chloe's Wishikaga, Chloe when she was exploring her Wishikaga, exploring Sinnoh. That did get like it felt like it rattled on for too long, but otherwise I thought the episode was fine, mediocre. I would give it a 7 out of 10 too. 6 out of 10 for a normal episode, 7 out of 10 for like Journey's
Good
episode.
then. So may I go now?
Nothing stopping you.
So
Sam?
episode of Journeys yet? Yes.
Oh no, I thought you disconnected because it like had a long pause and you didn't say anything. You can continue, Sam.
Oh,
I love how nobody.
Probab-
I love how nobody was like saying anything because they waited for him his turn, and the internet was like, "Nah, we're not gonna let him say a single thing with this
Yeah,
one."
yeah.
Hopefully, it should be good this time, buddy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Damn, the internet doesn't want to be
It
nice with
sounds
him.
like it happened again. Wait, Sam. Do you know you're Sam? You know you're on mute, right? Maybe he's like dealing with something.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's because I noticed this thing is like on a very long green. Like it seems like he's trying to say something, but it's not coming out through our end, unfortunately, from what I'm hearing.
anyways, I have fixed.
Okay. You're back.
Sorry, that was from my side.
Yeah.
I want to talk
Okay.
about the episode. It was pretty good. For the first part, I want to mention all the references.
Sam, you're cutting up, buddy. I think you got to leave and then rejoin again.
Okay, then.
Sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Try leaving and then rejoining. Sometimes that fixes the problem. Okay. And he should be back any second now. Man, the internet just does not want to hear Sam's opinion today.
Poor man. All he wanted to do was state his opinion on an episode.
Yeah.
And the internet was like, nah.
Maybe Sam liked the episode too much, and the internet just doesn't like Dawn.
They're preventing him from getting her attacked by the internet. He likes the episode too much, damn it. Oh, buddy.
A bit too much. I thought Dino was gonna fall in love with this episode because legit, you just have to mention Diamond and Pearl, and Dino goes off on a whole tangent on why Diamond and Pearl is a masterpiece.
So he's a DP stan, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, ask Dino himself. I think he knows more about DP than I do.
Well, that's great. I think the best thing about any series is that there's always going to be that one generation that fans will adore and just attach themselves to for a long time. Like for Dean right here with DP, or say my buddy Tyrone, who loves and adores X and Y to death.
Oh boy, I know. I've watched the Pokemon. I know.
Yeah, he is pretty much a DP stan, or me with Sun and Moon. I adore Sun and Moon so much too. I think my favorite thing about these kind of return episodes is that it's always interesting to see the ones that really care about that generation beg for what they would want to see from that episode and hope that they can actually get it. Like for me with the Sun and Moon episode, I hoped I got everything I wanted, and I believe I did in that Sun and Moon episode in Journeys. So I can only hope that those who are fans of Diamond and Pearl will also get that same level of enjoyment like I had experienced with the Sun and Moon one before. So
fair. They won't, because Tobias is not in the episode. Everybody knows Tobias was the best character in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl with his amazing development throughout the series.
Clearly, his development of, let me count it, 4 episodes. Yeah, sure. That is some incredible development, man.
Here's the thing. Dawn needed 100 episodes. Ash needed 4 seasons. Tobias only needs 4 episodes, and he's still remembered beyond the Pokemon fan base. I think that's a pretty good character, if I say so myself.
He definitely left an impression to the community, that's for sure.
Like I would not exactly appreciate Tobias, but I have to say, as compared to the likes of Richie, Tyson and like who was the other name? Harrison.
Harrison.
Tobias is clearly more memorable because he has done something unbelievable.
Now,
Hey.
here's the thing: being
Tyson,
memorable, I
Tyson,
don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he
good
definitely
thing is a
is very, very
good thing.
memorable.
But Tyson has a cool jacket. A
Oh,
really
okay, we're going with the
And his
jacket.
Meowth boots.
If you want to go with
Tyson,
designs, sure, we'll give him that 10 out of 10
not to,
character.
not to mention Tobias definitely has the most recognizable design. Like he doesn't look like any other character we've seen up until this point. He doesn't have spiky anime hair. His hair is great.
Oh Lord, I assume Sam is pretty much good to go now to continue his opinion. Hopefully, the
Yeah.
internet won't go
Yes, I
kaput
am
on him. All right, man.
activating.
Okay.
Okay, so now I will go with my thoughts now. Of course, I was pretty hyped about this episode being the return of Dawn. She is one of my favorite characters. So I really enjoyed this episode, to be honest. Right off the bat, uh, we got the scene where Cresselia was being chased by Team Rocket. I got nice vibes from the scene, like similar vibes to the Darkest Day arc, where we saw Rose being all over mad over Eternatus. Not exactly, but you get my point. Then we got the
Yeah.
scene where, then we got the scene where I think it was Ash and Go who were talking to Professor Cerise regarding Darkrai, and
Yeah.
then Ash made a Darkrai reference. You are going to love this, Samura, because that was 99% Tobias, because he
Oh,
referred to
clear.
how it was a really fun Pokemon to battle. And I think for the battling part, Tobias, this Darkrai is the one that comes first in the mind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you battled the movie one or not, but anyways.
Yeah,
So
I
of
haven't
course,
watched
yes, of course after that we saw Chloe wanting to go to the Sinnoh for the vacation. But Cerise was busy with some egg, and now I'm wondering what that egg is about, because of
Egg
course the
better be
last egg,
important.
yeah, it's better it be important, because of course otherwise they might even scrap it later on. But I really hope it has something to do with Chloe, so like maybe Cerise wants to give Chloe a new Pokemon, like someone from Sinnoh or Galar. So that would be really nice to how he didn't want to go to vacation to give her daughter a present. Anyways, after that we got another Dawn reference with how Chloe backpacked all her items in a huge bag, similar to
Oh
how
yeah.
Dawn did. Yeah. And after that, when we got the actual segment of the episode of like Chloe getting lost and all, I personally kind of enjoyed it because, of course, we don't really see Chloe travel much on her own to like different places, and then of course, like in the most Piplup way, Piplup came back. Like he just jumped his face right into the curry. Like I don't remember what that food was, and then of course Dawn returned. So I quite enjoyed Dawn's and Chloe's interactions in this episode throughout. Like I like how like they were friends at first, and then they had like a little conflict, and then they had a ride-on scene. Now I don't know how many of you guys know this, but the ride-on scene has been pretty controversial because people are saying that Piplup was nerfed, which I guess it is not really a big matter. We have seen Pikachu being defeated by even the smallest of Pokemon, so like Piplup having to face trouble against a Rhydon shouldn't be much of a problem, in my opinion. And I would
Yeah.
say from yeah, so yeah, I would say from Chloe's side, the episode was like perfect. From Dawn, I was expecting her to like showcase one of her new Pokemon, like maybe a Typhlosion or Lopunny, but like or maybe even one of her old Pokemon like Mamoswine or Pachirisu. But I guess that can wait because we have still have one episode left.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Ash and Go side, I have to say the episode was like pretty bland, mostly except for the like Diano said the Team Sakuragi part. Like Professor Cerise has been more interesting in that one little segment than he has been in the whole series. So yeah, I would say that this episode was like pretty good. It's maybe I will be a little biased because of my liking of Dawn, but please don't consider it much. My rating of
Mm.
this episode is like around 8 or 9. I really enjoyed it personally.
Mhm.
Mm. That's very fair. That's very fair. One thing I did want to add is like what you call again, and the y'all are probably gonna hate me for this. I find Chloe by herself boring. Like she's a boring character by herself. She needs somebody else in order to make that enjoyable.
Yeah, I would agree to that to some extent. So, like, of course, like, if you would see the first few episodes, so like, I think it was related to Chloe being related to Yamper. Those episodes weren't
Yeah.
particularly my favorite because she was just doing her things. But as time passed on, she like interacted more with Ash. Her episodes with Ash and Go were like more enjoyable, even if most of them were fillers. And then we got her whole segment with Evie, which was like a nice whole episode. But then Evie like of course became a part of Chloe, and then we have to like wait for a whole long of time to get this Dawn episode finally. So yeah, because like Chloe, we know that she has no goal in her mind. So of course, like following character with like no direction can get a bit tiring. So I understand your point.
Hmm. It's more because Chloe's supposed to be the average character. So like when we see her in like an average situation, it feels like it doesn't really stand out. It kind of feels like, eh. You give your opinion on this episode?
Repeat that again. You cut me off there, I think.
Sorry, I said, do you want to give your opinion on the episode?
Sure, I don't mind. So overall, my take on the episode, and honestly, I think one of the best things that helped me out when having to review the return of Dawn was rewatching Diamond and Pearl a couple of weeks before this episode came out, because me and the community on Twitch reacted to the first 6 episodes of Diamond and Pearl, and it
Yeah, I'm
turns
not.
out that a lot of the stuff that happened in those first 6 episodes actually were referenced in this recent episode of Journeys. For example, when Koharu was about to go to Sinnoh with her backpack, she didn't have a backpack. She originally started with a suitcase. And in Diamond and Pearl, when the journey began for Dawn, she was also going to go and travel in the Sinnoh region with a giant briefcase as well. So I like the little nod to continuity to that first episode there. So stuff like that is sprinkled throughout the episode as a whole. And if you are a very big Diamond and Pearl stan, I really do believe that there are a lot of elements from this episode, especially if it's fresh in your memory. A lot of the sequences and references that they brought into this one, you'll get a good kick out of it. Here's my
Mm,
criticism, though. Um, and it isn't necessarily a nitpick of mine, or it's not like a really big thing. It's just more of a nitpick, I should say. The Daijobu line, I feel they milked that line so
yeah.
much in this episode. You know what's the issue? It's that it doesn't feel genuine when she says it. It feels like, nah, we just need to milk this line dry in almost
Mm,
every single sequence we can, rather than making it feel like it's something from her character itself. You know, it doesn't feel like her shtick no more. It just feels like an obligation to do this. And that's what annoyed me when I saw her spam Daijobu line almost every single 5 seconds. And I was like, is nobody questioning that there's just too much of this
yeah.
in this episode? So that's a nitpick of mine personally. But if you guys love that line, I guess you get a good kick out of it.
Yeah,
The other issue that I have is, and this is actually also a pro as well, but now it just depends on having to see how things turn out in next week's episode. Uh, First of all, they fixed one of the biggest issues we had, and that was that it was only one episode rather than two episodes that most people wanted. You know, people
yeah.
back then when returns came, like either Karina or the Sun and Moon cast, or even Iris and Gary, people were hoping it would have been a two-parter episode to flesh out more of that character and kind of see more of what they've been up to since the last
Okay.
time we left them.
Okay, but
Uh,
personally, I don't think Karina needed 2 episodes, considering that she was like
yeah, she was a
supporting.
side companion.
Yeah,
She
she
wasn't a
was.
main companion.
Yeah,
And they did bring her back for like one scene, and that was when B kicked her butt in in that little flashback scene. That so she technically got 2 episodes if you think about it.
yeah.
But the point of the matter is the cast or the fans have always wanted to see 2 episodes at least to show off as much as they possibly can for their return. So for Dawn, they actually did a benefit on that. Here's my issue the thing is that if you think about it, a lot of the stuff that we saw or are being set up are now having to be done in next week's episode. We didn't see
Ah,
Dawn's Diamond and Pearl contest sequence that we saw in the trailer. That means that's going to be in next week's episode. The Matori stuff, that's going to be in next week's episode. Ash reuniting with Dawn, that's going to
yeah,
be in next week's episode. If
yeah.
you
That's
notice,
something.
there's just so many things that now is being carried over into the next episode that I
That
feel it's too much, you know?
yeah, yeah. That's one thing I wanted. This episode feel like it was trying to set up the bond between Koharu and what you call again Dawn, but it did so where it was trying to set up everything at the same time. Like setting up is good. Like don't get me wrong, I love me a good setup, but like it's too much. Like we already seen the trailers, we already know what's coming. It's too much.
Now, see, I don't have a problem with setting up. My issue is how much time you got after all that setup. And if you think about
Yeah,
it, we only got 20 minutes if you don't count the opening and the ending. We only got 20 minutes left for all that stuff that we set up in this episode to be resolved in next week's episode. So that's my
uh,
big issue there. It's I feel like there's going to be I think the my big issue is that the story in itself I think is going to be fine. But you know what's the one thing that's going to be lacking I think the most in next week's episode? Ash and Dawn interacting with each other.
that is definitely gonna happen near the end. That is definitely
Yeah,
gonna happen.
unfortunately, but see, that's the thing. Why does that have to be at the end? Shouldn't that be something that Ash should appreciate throughout the episodes?
Okay,
Because
but I
it's the
think there's
whole
a thing
point about her character, or the return, I should say, is to also see the new interactions between Ash and Dawn. But if you're going to make it feel like it's going to be happening at the end, which, by the way, we also have to wait to see the contest as well, which might take like a minute or two. I feel like there's never going to really be that much time to actually see Dawn and Ash even do some proper interactions in this upcoming episode.
yeah, that's definitely a negative. That's definitely
Yes.
a negative. Yeah. So KG, what do you rate this episode?
Overall, if I had to give it a rating, I will say as of right now, I'd give it an 8, but that all depends on how next week's episode turns out. If they do good, I'll keep it as an 8, but if it doesn't live up to what they set up in this episode, it might fall down to a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, it basically boils down to what happens next week is really it.
Like according to everybody here, this episode was okay. Like it was pretty good. Everybody enjoyed this episode. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think everybody had like a vehement dislike for this episode.
No,
So
it wasn't a bad episode per se. It's just more so it did what it needed to do, and now it's just a matter of will next
heavily
week
relying on
take
what
care of it. Yeah,
it's heavily relying on next. But I got you. Okay,
yeah.
so I think we can go into the topics for this week. The topic I brought up first was there's going to be a new Dragon Ball movie. So and it looks to
I
be
have
a
seen the trailer
CGI.
for that.
Yeah, it looks to be a CGI 2D hybrid movie featuring a more grown-up Pan, maybe Goten and Trunks. We don't know, but it looks to feature.
I think the name of the movie was Dragon Ball Super Heroes or something like that.
Yeah, that's a bit too much alliteration. They just should have called it Dragon Ball. They can't call it Dragon Ball Superhero because there's already Dragon Ball Hero, so they can't call it Dragon Ball Heroes. They didn't have to put the superhero, just call it Dragon Ball Superhero, like that. They didn't have to like put in the super. I think that's a bit too much alliteration and saying super too much.
Yeah, I have been
Let-
seeing people like complain for like for the movie being CGI. Personally, like I don't exactly mind CGI as long as it's good CGI.
Good.
So yeah, that's all I really have to say about it.
It looks like they're trying to go for like a Spider Verse feel, where it's kind of like it's kind of like 3D, but it looks like 2D. So like if they go for that kind of feel, I'm excited. And this is a movie, so they're clearly gonna step up their A game. Like look how good Dragon Ball Super Broly looks. Even though Shintani's not working on this, which I kind of wish he was. I want Shintani to work on more Dragon Ball stuff because Dragon Ball Super Broly looks so nice, and I love the Shintani designs. But I'm fine with what we got.
In terms of the Dragon Ball thing, for me personally, I just waiting for the actual trailer because sometimes whenever they do the teaser stuff, it never
Yeah.
ties with whatever the heck the actual trailer is like. So maybe they
Yeah,
had to rush the trailer thing, so that's why they made it CG. But when the actual movie trailer comes out, they're actually all in 2D. We don't really know as of yet, but it's looking to head in that direction, and I'm kind of curious to see if they do pure CG, how well is it actually going to be handled in the film itself, especially given that this is
Dragon Ball Budokai cutscenes. Let's go.
oh God, man. But yeah, so I just gotta wait for the trailer to come out, the actual full trailer, just to see everything in motion, to see if it
Uh,
does look good, if it looks solid. I don't want it to look very choppy like it did in the Fighters game, where everything felt so choppy and whatnot. It didn't feel
uh,
right. So yeah, let's see how things turn out when the full trailer for the film comes out.
uh, uh. Again, another thing that was Chicago. Another thing that was happening this weekend was my birthday. My birthday was this Friday, and I heavily
Oh
enjoyed it.
yeah, belated
Thank,
happy
Yeah.
birthday.
yeah,
Happy
thanks for
Indeed,
birthday in
happy
person.
belated
yeah,
birthday.
yeah, thanks for the birthday wishes for everybody on Twitter who gave you a happy birthday. Thanks for the birthday wishes. So
I gave you
I'm
two.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for the birthday wishes. It was great. I enjoyed my birthday. Not to mention, another thing that happened this weekend was DreamCon. This was hosted by RDC World One. They're comedy YouTubers, so this was their own little convention that they held. So it looked to be pretty good from what I heard. Like a bunch of my Chicago, a bunch of YouTubers that I watched went to DreamCon, so it looked to be a pretty fun event. So if you went to DreamCon and you're in the comments, tell us how it was, tell us how it went, if you enjoyed it or not. Not to mention, we got summaries for the Volkner episode, so yeah, and
Oh
talk about
yeah.
that.
Wait, what? We got the summary for the Volcano episode?
I
The
think we got
summary, only a title, didn't we?
We got a title for the Volcano
oh,
episode
we
and
got a title,
I
not a
think the
summary.
second Alola episode.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's the Alola race episode and it's the Volkner episode, and not to mention the Olympics. And they played Sonic music. They played Sonic and video game music at the Olympics for different
Wasn't it like
countries.
Starlight Carn or not Starlight Carnival? It was what was it? Starlight Zone. There we go.
Or like, oh, okay. They played the worst song from Sonic One. Aww.
I like that song. Okay, it's not
I'm
my
not saying
favorite song, but I like it, I
I
guess.
like the song. I like the song too, but they played the worst song from Sonic One,
They should have choose Spring Yard Zone, man.
or at least like Green Hill Zone, because it's Green Hill Zone.
Yeah. And then for other ones, just to mention, they had Near Automata, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, as you mentioned before,
Chrono
Sonic,
Trigger. They had
Cr-
Chrono Trigger. That's one of
which
my
was
favorite
Frog's
games of all
Team, I
time.
think, right?
Yeah, it was Frog's Team. Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite games.
Yeah, my buddy Terrell has actually been playing it a while ago, and I've been watching it. In fact, I think he's still streaming it right now. He's been enjoying Chrono Trigger because it was his first playthrough of the game. He never played it before,
Yeah, I've heard
so
about
he's
that.
getting to appreciate a lot of the goodness that is Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is made by what you call it? Chrono Trigger's art is made by Akira Toriyama, who also did Dragon Ball. So if you want some more Akira Toriyama art, just look at Chrono Trigger.
Even Dragon Quest as well.
Yeah, Dragon Quest as well. That's why when Hero came out, I said, guys, look, Android 18 got in Smash Bros.
And Goku. Don't forget Goku in the back over
And
there.
Goku, Android 18 and Goku got in Smash Bros. Guys, look.
Yeah, now everybody can finally stop saying, "Oh, Dragon Ball ain't in Smash Brothers no more." No, we got both. We got two characters, man. Two
Got
for the
two
price of
characters.
one.
Yeah, we got two characters. And yeah, I think that's almost every topic that happens this week, unless you guys want to bring up something that I missed.
Have you guys played the new Pokemon Unite game? I think it was.
The funny thing is I was just playing that shit. Oh my god, that game when you play it with friends, that is an experience when you play that with friends. Let me tell you that. KG was there with me. I was on voice chat with a bunch of other people. Man, that game. I was getting bullied.
Boy,
Like
I
always.
went into that call and it was like with 10 people, and I had absolutely no idea what the hell anybody was saying or even figuring out like how the hell were these people working properly with each other if they
We
if they
weren't.
talk over
We
loud with
weren't.
one another.
We weren't. We weren't. That's the joke. We weren't. But yeah,
Oh man.
Pokemon Unite is a very fun-ish game. Like it'll definitely get mad at it, and there's some things that will probably infuriate you, like the fact that you can't choose any Pokemon that you want from the beginning, and you have to buy new Pokemon if you want better options. For like, but otherwise, it's a fine game. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Definitely want more Pokemon to get added in the future, like Samurott. Samurot's cool.
Yeah, we know there are
You know,
some new
you got
characters coming
Corviknight.
into the game.
Shut it, Dina. Your mascot is Corviknight. It's in the anime. What else do you want? Greedy son of a gun.
Samurai is coming. Okay.
Corviknight was in the anime like for a brief cameo appearance. He's not a
Okay,
main character.
It
neither
made
was
two appearances
Samurai,
in the like episode number 2 and in the Gary episode, and that's it.
and he's in
The
every
Twilight
op.
Wing,
He's in the
the Twilight
opening.
Wings
He's in
give
the he's in the
Corviknight more
opening.
recognition.
Yeah, he's in the opening getting his butt whooped. That's not a good look for him.
Okay, but Samurai was owned by Cameron. That is the same thing. Imagine if
He
your
owned a
favorite Pokemon.
Lucario and Hydreigon too.
Okay, but imagine if your favorite Pokemon was owned by your least favorite character. Now imagine that.
Now listen, hear me. My favorite Pokemon Charizard was being owned by
Ah,
Trevor. Trevor, who got his ass whipped by Alan in the league.
okay,
And
but at
by
least it's
Ash
not
and Alan
Cameron.
and Leon and every other
At least
character.
it's not. Yeah, you have more. Name another person who owns Samurai other than Cameron.
Samurai
Uh,
Trainer Z.
Shut up. Shut up. This is what I go through. I can never find peace. These two cause me pain. These two cause me pain. Everybody in Pokemon Unite causes me pain. My whole life is just pain.
anyway,
Like,
so like, have you guys discussed about the Volkner and the Alola episode yet? So because I think
I mean, it's pretty
I
tough.
haven't.
I more or less want to wait till summaries come out so I can actually
Yeah, that would be
say
nice, I guess.
so we can actually get a better thing of what the episode's talking about. But I am hyped to see Volkner again.
Yeah.
Volkner was pretty cool as a kid. And now I can finally say this. Volkner looks like depressed Minito. Have you seen Minito from Naruto? Now make him depressed. There you got Volkner.
Oh yeah, now that you say it, I can see the similarity.
Yeah, it's the two sides of hair coming down.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the blonde hair, two sides of hair coming down. That looks like which color? That looks like Minito. But otherwise,
Actually,
yeah, this week.
what's your deal with people having with characters here? I remember you simping for Lance's hair back in the day for like for his for his when Lance was in the Johto League. I was remembering he rant about how he looks so weird in Journeys.
Did I say Lance looks weird in Journeys? I never said Lance looked weird in Journeys.
I think you said something like that in the in the Johto and or like in the original series. He had like a better haircut or
Oh, his
something like that. I
hair.
don't remember exactly.
Okay. I know what he's talking about. I said Lance looked like Vegeta. Like he looked like Vegeta in the SS in the Super Saiyan
Ah,
God.
yeah.
That's what I was saying. But yeah, nothing really happened this week. However, I did manage to pick up some Card Fight Vanguard cards, and I will want to give a review on them here because where else am I going to give a review on them?
Of course.
Go on.
Okay, so these Card Fight Vanguard cards are a part of the new Overdress set, the new format they decided to pull out so newbies can get into the game. They're pretty good quality as usual, you know. I got the Bastion set, which is actually pretty cool, you know. These cards are high quality. If you are getting into Card Fight Vanguard, I do recommend picking up these trial decks. They have everything you need to do to start playing. So, you know, I would recommend picking up these things. And I saw some really good Digimon sleeves that I really wanted, but I didn't play the Digimon TCG. Hopefully, next time I go, I can pick up a Digimon deck and buy those sleeves because I really wanted those. Those Digimon sleeves were so nice. It had artwork of like Metal Greymon, I think it's called Greymon or Mugen Greymon or whatever it's called. Metal Greymon and all these other Digimon, and there was
They are
other
like
one.
many different. Like I'm not much into the Digimon anime or like the games, but I think I know a few like Metal Greymon or War Greymon or things like
Yeah,
that. I have to catch up on the Digimon at someday.
yeah. And then they had these other yellow sleeves with Plusmon, I think it was called. I really wanted those sleeves. Those sleeves were high quality. Like if those sleeves were t-shirts, I would wear that t-shirt. Also, we have to talk about something else. So, Sam, when are you gonna watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal?
Oh my god.
Don't,
Okay, so now
don't,
like
don't watch
Do,
Zexel.
do
let me
watch
explain
I,
this.
Zexal.
I
And
don't
of course,
like
like
Zexel. It is the worst of all of them, man.
No.
Oh
Zexal
my
is
okay,
actually
god.
the
okay, let
best
me get
one,
okay.
actually. Zexal is actually the
Okay,
best
so
one.
of course, I have like at some point I have seen like all the like I was of course like watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX of like I have heard a lot about how the season 3 is being hyped. Like like literally every person I talk to is when I talk to about Yu-Gi-Oh! GX refers to season 3 in some way. Because like I talk about that Crawler's
Because season 3 is the only good season
assistant
of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Bonaparte, people
GX.
say season 3.
The
I
season
say
3 is the
about
only good season.
yeah. I like that's obvious because like literally everyone I talk to is talking about season 3. So of course like I have to watch like season 3 because I know most of the stuff that is going to happen in it. But still, I'm really hyped to see it.
Hmm.
And after that, season 4, which if I'm not wrong, is pretty short and was like never dubbed. Of course, it doesn't
Season 4
matter to
pisses
me
me
because
off.
I'm seeing the sub version.
Season
So
4
I have
pisses me
like
off.
first, yeah. So first of all, like I have to see like finish seeing Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and like in the recent days, I have also picked up rewatching Dragon Ball Z. Like I am at the Vegeta arc now. Of course, like and goddamn, like when will this Goku's journey on the Serpent Road end? He has been doing this shit for like I don't know, like 20, like 15 episodes or something, and it
See,
hasn't ended yet.
okay, so see, you're rewatching Z. You're not rewatching Kai. If you rewatch Kai, he's only on like thing for like 5 episodes. So like when you rewatch Dragon Ball, you want to rewatch Kai instead of Z. So Z is the one with the like a bunch of fillers in it.
I is like basically like bit modernized Z, isn't it? Like with a few changes and all.
Yeah, Kai does have a couple of changes that I dislike. Like they removed Gohan's dinosaur friend. Like Gohan made a dinosaur friend and they removed it. That's
That
terrible.
like which dinosaur friend? One was the one which he wanted to care about and he got eaten, and the one another
Yeah.
one which he was like Gohan was kept on chasing and kept on eating meat of his tail. So I don't know
No,
which one is.
the one that got eaten. The one that got eaten. They removed him. But
Yeah,
back
so
to
like of course, like I'm seeing Z at rewatching Z at the moment, and
yeah,
of course, like
yeah,
but this one I'm like pretty much skipping every like most of the things. So like if it's a filler, I'm watching it at the second speed. So like Dragon Ball isn't like my main focus at the moment. Rewatching GX, and once I do this, I'm of course like going to see 5DS, another series for which I have heard a lot of praise about. Like,
first.
of course, I don't know the concept yet, but card games on motorcycles
Okay,
sounds cool.
okay.
And I like the new protagonist Yusei's design. Like,
My one
he's like
problem
the
with
typical.
5Ds. Okay, here's my one problem with 5Ds. Everybody talks about how 5Ds is so good. You mean the first 2 seasons? Because everybody legit says season 3. Ooh, we don't talk about season 3. Like, has anybody
How
even
is season?
mentioned?
Okay. So, listen, I don't really mind spoilers. I'm assuming the others of you have seen 5DS. What's exactly the problem with season 3 of 5DS?
There's a huge tonal shift,
Oh,
like a huge tonal shift. Like
yeah, so
watching.
of course, for what you were saying about Zexel, my initial plan was, of course, like to see of course, like I had finished Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel like I have seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, then I saw like Duel Monsters, then it was like, I think some sort of Season 0 movie, and then I'm yet to see the Duel Monsters movie, which for some reason I decided to skip. Then I started GX, and like I love Jaden as a character. I think he might even be my second favorite protagonist overall. And then after this, like once GX ends, I'm going to start off 5DS. My initial plan was to like stop at 5DS because of like a bit of hate I heard about Zexel of how
Mm,
it wasn't that, and I was honestly not a fan of like I think what his name Yuma, I think.
Yuma's
Yeah,
Yuma's
the
design.
protagonist. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. The designs put a lot of people off, and I think that's unfair because that's the exact same thing Sun and Moon had to deal with. And everybody's loves Sun and Moon now. I feel like if everybody gave Zexal a chance, Zexal's a legitimately good show, and Yuma's a legitimately interesting
Yeah.
protagonist.
So okay. So I have later on. I of course get. um I went in more depth and realized that although at first they like Zexal and like Yuma were not like that good, as time passed on, like they got better over seasons. So I am thinking of seeing Zexal once I finish 5DS. God knows when that will happen. So
I
yeah,
recommend it. I
will.
recommend it.
Yeah, I will see Zexal eventually. Don't worry about that.
Like
I
because
have to see all the like movies though because unfortunately I don't think any like series other than for other than the 5DS got any movie. Like first of all, we all the movies we got were related to duel monsters.
that's one of the negative things I noticed. Like all the movies we get for Yu-Gi-Oh are Duel Monsters related, and I feel like I wanted a movie focusing on the 5D, GX,
Yeah,
and
I
Depth
wanted a
had.
movie focusing on GX because all I have at the moment is like a Bonds Beyond Time movie. And like from
That's
all
all you
the
got.
clips I have seen, it's like pretty good. But still, I wanted a solo Jaden movie.
Too bad.
Here he,
Jaden sucks. Jaden's
yeah.
deck physically sucks. Jaden's deck is so bad that it's not as bad as
Look. I
Yugi's, but it's
look,
pretty
look.
bad.
I play dueling in the Nexus. I know Jaden's deck suck. The biggest flaw
Contact
in his
fusion
deck is
sucks.
that why the hell doesn't he have Stratos in his deck? Like his manga version
Not
has
even-
that, but he
okay,
doesn't have it for some reason.
that's not even the problem. Stratos isn't the main problem. The main issue is that Neos is a normal monster that you have to attribute two monsters in order to summon. Not to mention contact
Wait,
fusion is so dumb because after the turn is over, the cards return to your deck and to the extra deck and to your hand. Like, that's so dumb because then you're like, oh, I'm you. I can't do anything. You can't defend if you had nothing else on the
okay,
field.
so for that I think like Jaden carry ancient rules in his deck because that would fix the two tribute to Neo's problem.
Okay, that would affect the two tributes problem, but at the end of the day, you could have just made Neos a fusion. That's all you would have to do. Just make Neos a fusion.
Yeah, like I have seen of course when I duel in dueling Nexus, there are like a good couple of good fusions like Brave Neos or Rainbow Neos. I really enjoy
Yeah,
using them.
yeah,
Jaden for but I think you see, of course, like as time passes, protagonist decks would get better and better. Of course, like Yugi's deck is highly outdated, and after that, Jaden's deck came, which again he got Neos in like mid series. Like once the first season ended, he got it at mid season two after his duel against Aster Phoenix.
yeah.
So and then for some reason he like continued to use Neos again and again, and Flame Wingman gone like, who am I
Shafted,
even? He got
shafted.
Tracy'd.
He got shafted. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. One thing you'll notice about Yusei and Yuma's decks when you watch it is that their decks actually work, and you can actually play with their decks. I would know. I play Utopia and Cyber Dragon, so I would know.
So
But
yeah, of
yeah,
course, overall, as far as my anime watches go, unfortunately, due to seeing GX and all, I have kind of been
yeah.
sleeping on my AG rewatch.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Okay,
Also,
I've been
no
kind
problem.
of sleeping on my AG rewatch. So once this ends, I will be like quickly seeing all the episodes related to AG. So it's going to take a bit time, but I will see Zexel eventually. I hope that gets you your answer.
Yeah, that's gonna excite me.
Also, I
And
wanted to
K
ask, what's like the deal with the recent Yu-Gi-Oh being? I think it's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
because I've
7
heard something is going on in the community or something.
was
I'm
the
like not.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that's another thing. You actually brought my attention to it. Yu-Gi-Oh has released Yu-Gi-Oh has like words of releasing Arc 5 World into Yu-Gi-Oh Dueling. So for all you
Oh,
players who loved Arc 5 and Pendulum, you get to do that on your phone. KG shivering in his boots, remembering all the traumatic times he got played due to Pendulum.
Oh no, the pendulums, they coming back, man. I thought I ran away from them for so
You
long.
thought, you thought. And another thing, they released an actual dueling simulator called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So now we can all finally stop using Dueling Nexus, except we're not.
We never would.
I'm never going to stop using Nexus. I
But
love
yeah,
that shit.
it's an official simulator that allows you to play with your friends and simulate decks. So those who want a better experience than Duel Links, you can hop on to Master Duel. It looks to be a pretty cool game.
I'm
And
Okay,
interested
so
in the
like,
Master Duel,
of
though.
course,
I'll give you that.
I'm also interested in Master Duel.
so like, of course, like with the Nexus, my issue is that of course there are like a connectivity problem sometimes, and the other thing is that you
Yep.
cannot. Yeah, the other thing is that for some reason, like most of the time, I find enjoyment in Nexus. Of course, other than that little issue which I said. So I don't know, but if possible, I will see what Masters Duel is about.
Master Duel is like a more official one. Like if you want to support the official Konami, because fans have been asking for this for a long time. Like as a TCG player who plays more than like Wichikagan, Yu-Gi-Oh, I play Vanguard, I play Wichikagan, I played some of the Digimon TCG like online. I played the Dragon Ball TCG online. One thing you always want for your TCG is for it to have an online simulator, so people who don't have like card shops in their area or Walmart or like Target who don't carry the cards anymore because people want to bring guns because somebody stole the VMAX Charizard that they wanted. I just got Shining Fates. Put your
Oh
hands
my
up and
god!
drop the box. What's in the
Literally, like of course, like I'm not in much in Pokemon TCG community, but seriously, that was I can't believe that.
I remember. It's like a scene from a movie. I forgot the movie. Maybe KG knows some movie's called. It's like, what's in the box? I said, what's in the box? It's a Shining Fates. Dang! It says, what's in the box? What's in the box? He drops the box. It was Shining Fates. Thanks. I'm gonna sell this on eBay and I'm gonna make millions. Doesn't open anything. That is sometimes the sad reality of TCGs. Like I just responded to like a Twitter thing, not like I think it was 2 months ago, where a mom was saying that how her son got like a Pokemon box from like the Pokemon Center or like the Nintendo store in New York, and it didn't give her anything. Like it didn't give him the Pokemon cards he wanted, and he was Chicagoan, and he was like pretty distraught over. It. And like that's the sad part about TCGs. If you want to get into TCGs, and I told this to Chicago, and I told this to Goggles when I was talking to him about it, and like Sam, if you actually want to get into the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG as like the paper version, you want to buy singles if you can. Try buying single versions of the cards because
Yeah,
then
I'm
you
thinking of doing eventually. So, but
like
at the
it,
moment, I'm
like
fine.
Sam,
Like
if
I'm
you
happy with
like Sam,
Nexus. Of
like
course,
Sam,
like
if
as
you're
time
on
passes, I will have to make a deck eventually.
yeah
But for the
Sam,
time being, yeah, Nexus gives me
like
enough enjoyment.
yeah, no issue. But like yeah, if you want to
Yeah,
build like a deck, you want to buy singles, or if the cards you need are in a trial deck, buy that and then buy the singles for the trial deck. Singles are the best way to go. Like even when other people ask me, "Hey, I want to get into this TCG, or I want to go to this TCG," I told them, "Oh yeah, make sure you go to a card shop and buy singles, because like unlike Walmart, people at the card shop are literally there to help you. They can give suggestions to your deck and like they're literally specialized to help you. So that's one thing I recommend. It's like going to a mm, small business game store instead of going to like GameStop or EB Games or Walmart because they can what you call it again. They can help you better than the people at EB Games can.
yeah. By the way,
Yeah,
Diana, what are you doing these days?
being cringe and the bane of my existence.
No, that's my job.
Yeah, we'll do
That's
it.
your CKG. Being on this podcast isn't fun. It's painful. Painful.
For us, it is.
I just love how you say this isn't fun at all.
This is what I don't look forward to this. I dread this every time I wake up on a Saturday. I was like, I gotta do this
Oh man,
podcast.
don't worry. We have that kind of same mentality in our group as well. Although we never say it in the recording, we say it literally after the pod's done. We all
Okay,
have our
okay,
usual shtick and just joke at each
okay.
other and jab at
And
each other's throat.
now I can finally ask KG the question we usually ask our guests at the end of the day.
What's up?
KG, what's after Pokepod World? Like, let's say after Journeys finishes, what's after Pokepod World? Do we get Pokepod Mars, Pokepod Sun, Pokepod Universe?
I think the Pokepod world is still gonna be the Pokepod world. The reason
Oh,
why I moved out of the Pokepod and the Pokepod R, if you recall, it wasn't even supposed to be called the Pokepod R. It was because the channel got deleted that we had to
ah,
redo it again. Hence why the Pokepod R. But to finally put all of that aside and focus on our
man,
content now, we
I
stayed
thought it
with
was a
one definitive
Pokepod Racing
title,
game.
and that one is Pokepod World.
I thought Pokepod R was a Pokepod racing game like Sonic R. Oh man.
Nah, it was simply meant as a way to just kind of say like reboot, rebrand, all that kind of stuff. So that's why when the Pokepod World finally came to be, that is our definitive title now. Given that we don't have to worry about the next thing or whatnot. No, now we know for a fact that the full title is simply the Pokepod World. So
Okay. And
yeah.
also, follow-up question. So when is the Masters Ed and Pokepod World gonna cross over?
Well, I mean, we technically did something like that tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, technically we did. So by that logic,
Technically, except it's not the Pokepod X Masters, it's the Masters X Pokepod with this one.
yeah,
And first of all, it was an honor to even also be a part of this as well, to just
yeah.
see other podcast groups do these kind of things as well. When we began our podcast, one of the coolest things I always loved appreciating is just seeing more fresh faces appear on scene now, whether they be big ones or small ones or in between. I always just love seeing people try out and do new things, and seeing you guys here as well, having your shtick and go on with the community and whatnot. I thought it was actually pretty fun. So,
Our
I
dynamic,
wish you guys as well the best of luck with your stuff too, with your future
our
podcasts.
dynamic.
And it was a lot of
Thank
fun, though.
you.
I'll say that it was an absolute lot of fun being able to share my opinions with you guys here. And
Our dynamic is definitely different from a lot of other podcasts' dynamic. It's more of, let's make fun of the leader instead of agreeing with the leader. That's
oh, don't
always
worry.
fun.
My thing is with my group is that they try to make fun of the leader, and then for some reason the leader always tends to do something that he never intended to do, and yet he still comes out on top, making
Yeah,
everybody
because
else look like fools. But
I
the thing
watched
is,
KG.
I never do it intentionally. It happens by mistake, but I still win. So it's like, did I really win, or what? So like, what happened here? Kind of situation.
I watched some of KG stream. This guy's the luckiest man alive with the way he finesses his way out of trouble. Like this guy will be in the worst situation, absolute worst situation. Where I'm like, he's not gonna get out of this. Somehow bullshits his way out of this. Everybody in voice chat and everybody in stream is just, what? No, that's not fair. Somebody nerf KG. KG needs a real life nerf. Like he needs a real life nerf.
Listen, man, I built my
Like,
life around only leveling up my luck. My luck is all I got, buddy. I got no real talent other than luck. I just
that
had to
sounds like a
rely
life.
on luck 100% of the time, man.
That sounds like an isekai anime title. I maxed
I
out.
said,
I
well, we
maxed
are
out my
living
luck
in an
stat.
isekai world, and none of you guys realize it yet.
I was like, I maxed out my luck stat and nothing else. I would watch that. I would watch that. He just gets critical hits all the time.
Catches a Pokemon with the first try, not even doing a single attack on it, and I'm like 10
Go,
levels lower than that.
go. Is that you?
Yeah, well, I guess I became the thing I hate. I became Go. Oh no.
Go.
I become.
Oh man, but yeah,
I'll
like
go.
I said before, it was a lot of fun being here with you guys and just seeing your takes as well. And once again, as usual, like I always wish you guys the best of luck as you continue to make more of these kind of content on your channel as well with this group you got going on right
Sam
here.
doesn't make content. Sam hasn't uploaded in like. Okay, let me see.
Okay,
How can
so
we collab
of
with
course
it?
I have like
Sam has,
videos. Yeah,
Sam
of
hasn't
course I have
uploaded
3 videos
in
in
months.
progress right now. I'm going to upload one of them like one of these days after on 3rd August or something like that. I
Uh-huh.
have been busy these days. I don't really get my laptop much. So
Okay.
of course
To be
my
fair,
content.
KG hasn't
Yeah.
uploaded on his YouTube channel either. KG
No,
Muda, more
my
like
my
KG.
channel.
Speaking
Listen,
speaking
my
of
channel
YouTube,
came to an end. I've been basically doing things on Twitch, and thankfully, Twitch has been very nice with me. So I'm gonna put my focus and efforts onto that platform while everybody else is busy with YouTube.
okay,
I'm still
speaking of
gonna watch
YouTube,
KG's
Dino
YouTube
has
channel
got
because
recently
of his
100
utterly cool
subscribers.
voice. Who?
Yeah,
What? Who got how many? Who? What?
I said Diano just got 100
Oh
subscribers
yeah,
recently.
Dino. Why aren't you bringing up this? This is your
Congrats, man.
I have this.
Well, thank you. I
I'll
thought
bring
we
it.
brought it
Okay.
up like, didn't we brought it all up like in another podcast?
Uh-oh, I
Well,
think the person who was recording accidentally left us. he was the one recording, right?
no,
Actually,
we have the bot, like
we have the bot
the Discord
trained.
bot.
Yeah.
So as long as the Discord bot is in the voice chat, it's recording.
Oh, you mean Craig?
Yeah, Craig.
Wait, Craig is the one? I thought he was an actual person. You mean you mean he was just a bot the whole time?
I got a phone
Yes.
call. Who was the
I
thought?
thought he was a legit person. I was like, "Hi, Craig," and Craig never said hi back. I was like, "What the hell, man? He's such a mute."
Is a thought that I manifested so strong that he causes me physical pain.
Damn. Well, now I feel dumb knowing that I was talking to an inanimate object this entire time. Thank you, Craig, for your help.
Craig is not a person. Craig is just a recording bot.
I know. They just told me that. I thought he was a person.
Okay, from now on, we're gonna make that a joke. We're gonna every time we have a guest who hasn't been on already, we're gonna talk to Craig like he's a real person. We're gonna talk to Craig like a real person, and then we're gonna say, "Oh, you haven't said hi to Craig yet, so and so."
Good gun.
Yeah, that's gonna be our inside joke. Anyways, I think we can end the podcast now. Does anybody have anything else to leave off?
Nah, at least for me, anyway. I got to say what I want to say.
Anyways, thank you, KG, for joining our podcast today. It was really an honor.
That's my job. That is my job to say. That's my job. You are third in this podcast. You are third in command on this ship. Okay, let's just process that. I am first command. Dino second command. You are third command, and then KG's just our special guest.
What about Craig, though?
Craig is my best friend here. Craig is my best friend. You want to know why Craig is my best friend? Because Craig is the only one who doesn't say anything mean to me.
No, Craig is the only one that we can't record without.
Yeah, technically, Craig is the most fundamental. He's actually more useful than Dino, technically. Because Craig records, I edit, and Dino doesn't do anything. Dino's just there. He does about as useful.
Anyways, I thought Zero was going to come in this podcast. Where is he?
Oh yeah, Zero had an emergency. He had to do something. He had an emergency, so he couldn't come. He had to be excused. So you know.
Makes sense.
The Pokemon World. This is a podcast. That's so funny. Okay, because everybody look in normal chat. Everyone look like in base chat, like just the chat in the Masters A podcast Discord.
Oh my god, y'all just gang banging upon each other, man. Come on, just settle down, kids. Come on, man. You all can do better.
No, it's worse out here. It's just
I'm like sitting in my chair and I look to the left and I see everybody just punching each other in the gut. Like, what the
KG's sitting down saying his opinion. Meanwhile, I'm beating up Dino in the background.
Yeah, I'm just speaking my things and you guys are just punching each other to the side as I'm just ignoring everything I'm seeing here, man.
That's hilarious. I don't care. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. That's jokes.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Dino, for making that. That brought about a burst of laughter at the end. Okay, so we're gonna end the podcast here. Wow, this podcast actually wasn't an hour. Never mind. We started at 9. We didn't start at 10. I was like, I don't have to edit for a whole hour. I can edit for 40 minutes. Nice. No, we started at 9. No, we started at 9. So I still have to edit for an hour. Thanks, Dino, for covering this week.
Mm-hmm.
He's not covering the week. That's the joke. He never asked us, hey, Samurai, what if you let me edit this episode? You know what, Dino? Don't actually offer to edit an episode. It's not like I have to sacrifice every single fucking Monday to do this shit. No, you do it. You do it.
I offer my presence.
Your present isn't enough. Your present wasn't needed in the first place.
Then I offer my mental support to you. Samurai can do it.
Your mental support is more of a mental, what you call it again?
Okay.
Not support. It's not supportive at all.
I'm aware of this.
When I look at Tyrone and KG, it's like the Homer knee. Tyrone and KG. How come mine doesn't look like that? Me and Dino. Tyrone KG.
What
I
about
support
me
us.
then?
Okay, fine. When I look at Tyrone KG and Terrell, how come mine are not like that? Kind, supportive friends who stick together thin and thin.
Oh, you never see the talk behind the scenes. We all jab at each other just as hard.
Okay, see the thing is that's behind the scenes. We don't have the patience to do behind the scenes. If one of us does some goofy ass shit, we're gonna call each other out for that goofy ass shit. AKA Dino's whole life and opinions. I said it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Samurai, being a supportive friend that you mentioned.
Also, this was one of the few podcasts where we didn't mention Marvel, which means it's not the Marvel's 8 podcast anymore. Dino, shut up.
So
Wow.
how about that Spider-Man movie, guys?
You just mentioned it. So
We were
another
so-
episode with the mention of
we
Marvel.
were we were so close. We were so close. Oh my and now Zero's gonna make a meme saying that the Marvel's 8 podcast. It's not gonna be the Marvel's 8 podcast.
I can't believe it's gonna be Marvel's 8 podcast for 1 second of mention of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the rule. That's the rule. If we mention anything Marvel related, we have to again. We have to call it the Marvel's 8 podcast. Because
God damn.
all of us are big fans of Marvel, except Sam, because Sam is cringe.
You don't like Marvel, buddy?
I like Marvel, but like I haven't been in touch with the shows. I have seen most of the films. I have
Hmm.
to start, I think, Loki and
What's
Wanda at
that,
some time.
Sam? What's that, Sam?
Yes.
I'm based, and you guys should respect my opinions instead of calling me cringe as my actual name.
Your name's Cringe?
No, the
Oh.
joke is here. The joke is, the
I
joke
can't say,
is
I'm like, why is your name Cringe for, buddy? Okay.
don't know. I legit don't know. When we made this Discord server, for some reason, I got labeled as the cringy one for legit no reason.
It was Zero's fault.
All right, my phone's about to die, so we better stop the podcast here. So this
Yeah,
this
Alright.
has been the Masters Day podcast. Everybody say their goodbyes.
Toodles. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye, KG.
All right. Bye-bye, man. Take care, everybody.
Right.
Okay, Dino, say your goodbye as always.
As always, it's Dino, and bye.
Okay, and now time for my goodbye. It's been Samurai. Hope everybody
Excuse
has
me,
a
I'm
good time.
left.
What?
I'm left. I haven't gone yet. Let me do first.
Sorry, there's nobody here. All I hear is a ghost. Is that a ghost
Shut up.
speaking? Say your goodbye, buddy. Say your goodbye,
Just
buddy. I'm
shut
sorry.
up. Anyways, goodbye, everyone. Sam out.
Yeah, it's the ghost. We don't know where this ghost is coming from, guys.